You're bringing up something I used to do years ago when no one knew who I was. I was just getting started 2007, 2008. Oh, yeah. I used LinkedIn as a tool to create connection with people that were, successful business leaders and people that had done things that I wanted to do in the future, right? Mm-hmm. And for a while, none of them would reply to me because I started off saying like, hey, I'm just getting started, I'm brand new, and I'm looking for some advice. Can you help me? Those types of
warm
languages,
warm.
Right?
Yeah. All those words you just said are all warm.
Yeah, and I started switching it and getting a reply almost every time from anyone. Like anyone I'd reach out to, I was like, they're going to reply to this. And I started doing a few things. In the first sentence, I would just try to find, spark dopamine, essentially is what I was doing. I was looking for a mutual connection we had, and I would speak about the mutual connection.
Mutual connection is highly competent. It's saying, you know this person, I know them too, I'm in the know. Trust and warmth.
Trust, yeah.
Warmth and competence.
This person likes me, if you like them, trust.
Perfect balance, yeah.
I didn't even know that, and I was just doing it, right? Mm-hmm. And it was working. I was like, okay, let me keep doing this. Let me find someone that we know in common. And I would always try to have a conversation to get some intel on them. Can you tell me something about so-and-so? And I would speak about that information. And I would speak into them. I would also look for a couple other areas of interest that we have in common. And I would try to have 3 different things in common in the first sentence or 2.
Wow.
Something that they did that I'd experienced before, or a place they're from, or whatever, some mutual interest.
Mm-hmm. Warmth and competence.
Maybe that's competence, or it's both.
Both.
Saying,
It's beautifully both. Yeah.
So I would do that, and then I would just add, and then I would say something like, "I'm really inspired by what you created. I'd love to learn your story of success."
Wait. Say it again.
I'm really inspired by what you've created. I'd love to learn your story of success.
Oh man, that just gave me the chills.
That's essentially what I did almost every email.
That sentence, can we just talk about it? So that sentence is the perfect blend of warmth and competence.
There you go.
Right? You have love, you have learn, you have success. And so that didn't take a lot of words. It's not like you were writing them a 6-paragraph email. But it's so much better than, let me know if you have any questions.
Right.
Yeah. Or can I pick your brain for coffee?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think what we have to do is there are hidden opportunities waiting for you in your texts, in your emails, in your profiles, if you choose to take them.
Yeah.
And all it takes is a couple of word swaps. Like I'm not talking about 15, in that direction sheet, they sprinkled in like 2 or 3 words. Win. Even reading the word win makes the other person think more like a winner.
Yeah.
What a gift to give.
Yeah, that's cool. The quote that I heard in high school from Roosevelt is, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Saved my life, literally.
That's warmth and competence right there.
Because I didn't feel competent my entire school life, right? In school, I was at the bottom of my class. I just graded poorly, which confirmed like I'm not smart enough, or like I'll never be able to be as intelligent as my classmates or anyone in the world. Yeah. So why would anyone like me or trust me, because I didn't feel competent? Then when I heard that quote, I go, I have a chance. Like, I can build competence in another area of life. I can be emotionally intelligent, and I can show people how much I care. And by doing that, that's been pretty much my whole life.
Everyone who's listening, I hope what this shows you is that caring about someone, there's multiple ways to do that. Yes, it's emotionally intelligent, but it's also honoring someone's cues or gifting them the right cues.
Yes.
When you make someone feel more like a winner, what a gift you just gave them.
Huge gift. You're putting confidence into them. You're speaking joy, confidence into that person.
Yes, you're literally gifting them the chemical dopamine so that they themselves have more motivation.
Yes.
And don't we all need more motivation?
Absolutely, yeah.
Can I, since you shared a vulnerability, can I share a vulnerability and a compliment?
Sure.
Okay. So I've been so excited to tell you this. So your book, School of Greatness, I loved the cover. I just thought it was so inspiring. And when I was taking my cover shoot for Captivate, so this is 6 years ago now, it was not going well. I was super awkward. My photographer, amazing, Maggie Kirkland, was like, listen, like this isn't working. You're really awkward. I need you to relax. I'm like, I can't relax, right? The worst thing you can do to someone who's anxious is tell them to relax. So we weren't getting the shot. We weren't getting the pictures. And she's like, okay, just think about your role models. Who's your role model? And I was like, Lewis Howes. So she pulls up your book and she goes, okay. She said, look at Lewis. Channel him. And so in the shoot, I channeled you and I did your pose of my hands over my stomach with your face. And crazily enough, That is the Captivate
That was
cover.
a shot.
I'm going to send you the
How
full
many books
version.
you sell? How many copies you get?
Lot. I better send you some royalties. So anyway, I channeled you
cool.
because that cue, there was something about it. So I thank you for even the cues that you send out, because that gifted me confidence when you didn't even know about it.
There you go. I appreciate it. I'm glad it worked. What's another thing that in the Shark Tank? We talked about sparking dopamine. What else?
Okay, so we talked about reading, we talked about dopamine, we talked about interactivity, we talked about complimenting in a way that allows someone to see themselves in you, or pulling out a similarity.
That's good.
Right? So like you, Lori, we really value. Mr. Wonderful, we love Mr. Wonderful products, right? Like that really helped. I mean, it sounds like sucking up, but actually it really works. It really worked. The other thing that we noticed about the interactivity is what they would do is they would cross space zones. So they would have something to give the sharks, and they would go from the carpet to the chairs.
That worked usually.
Worked because they were going into intimate zone very quickly. So this is called a nonverbal bridge. It's kind of an advanced technique. Do you want to talk about it?
Yes.
Okay. So a nonverbal bridge is a way that we cross into someone's intimate space, but safely. So what happens is when we're with someone, we want to connect with them. We want more oxytocin. We want to bond with them. But sometimes it can be hard to break that boundary. A nonverbal bridge is a way that we can create oxytocin with permission. So that could be handing someone something. That could be giving a high five. That could be touching their elbow. And that is exactly what successful pitchers did. They would have a reason or an excuse to, hey, Lori, let me guide you up here. Hey, Kevin, let me zip on this suit for you. Hey, you want to try this amazing cinnamon roll? And when they did that, they created these small little bridges. So what I would think about is like, how can you create bridges to people where you're engaging them even physically? Right, and that's harder on video, but in person, that was a thing that we found in the tank.
How do you do it in a way that the person feels comfortable if you touch them on the elbow? Because someone may not feel comfortable.
Right.
So you have to be really intuitive to, is this person going to be receptive to me? Are they already interested enough where I can get closer?
Yes. Are they leaning in? Are they giving eye contact? Are they nodding? Oh, I forgot another one that was really important. So vocal power. So we haven't really talked about vocal power, and this was a big one in the tank. So we hear confidence. We hear competence. And the biggest way that we do this is with inflection. So inflection is the biggest mistake that we make is the question inflection. So the question inflection is when we go up at the end of our sentences, right? It's also called up talk. So if I were to...
Don't do up talk.
Don't do up talk. Okay. We're going to talk about why.
Yes.
So when we use the question inflection, it cues the other person's brain to know, we're being asked a question. The problem is that when we accidentally use the question inflection, it makes people question you, right?
Are they really trustworthy?
Right. So what would happen is, in this study where they looked at doctors, they found that the doctors who had, so I'll break down the study. So what they did is they asked doctors to record 10-second voice tone clips. And they said like their name, their specialty, where they worked. So it sounded like, hi, my name is Dr. Edwards. I work in oncology. I specialize in children's medicine. Something like that. They took the clips and they warbled the words, so you couldn't understand the actual words being said. So it sounded like, right?
Yeah.
Then they asked people to rate these clips on warmth and competence, right? Again, this research has been repeated over and over again. Imagine this for a second. You're asked to listen to a clip of gobbledygook.
Yes, to see if they're competent
Are
and
they smart?
trustworthy. Yeah.
Do you like them? Yeah. And people do it. What they found is the doctors who had the lowest warmth and competence ratings had the highest rate of malpractice lawsuits. That implies that we don't just sue doctors based on their skills. We sue doctors based on our perception of their skills, and that happens in the first few seconds of hearing them.
So your communication is everything.
Everything. It's not just the words you're using. Are they warm? Are they competent? It's even how you're saying the words. Wow. So the very first story I break down in the book, and this is in the intro, so if you want to just look at the sample chapter, you could. I analyze Jamie Siminoff's pitch. Jamie Siminoff is the founder of Ring.
That didn't get any money, and then it sold for $1 billion.
Yes. Here is a brilliant guy, right? Jamie Siminoff is brilliant. He had a successful product, right? Ring is a very successful product. Amazon acquired it for over $1 billion with a B dollars. Yet, he goes into the pitch in the Shark Tank, and he pitches, and he doesn't get a deal. Why? That pitch plagued me because because I was like, here is a smart guy with a great idea, but his cues were the problem. I think that he lost his pitch. This is a really big statement, and if you listen to it, you'll hear it. I think he lost the deal in the first 10 seconds of them hearing him. And the reason is he made the choice to close the doors to the tank. So in his pitch, he doesn't walk down the hallway. You don't see that long first impression. You don't get public to social to personal. He closed the doors. And what he did is he knocked on the door of the Shark Tank.
Hello, who's there?
They're like, hello. And he goes, it's Jamie. So he asked his own name. And when you're a shark and you're trying to make a very quick first impression of someone without seeing them, and you hear the question inflection that's supposed to be used on a statement, you immediately begin to question, I don't know. And that is also because we know that liars are more likely to use the question inflection. If you've ever played Two Truths and a Lie, have you ever played that game?
Yeah.
Okay, so Two Truths and a Lie, here's a little tip for everyone. If you ever play that game, people almost always ask the lie. So they'll be like, oh yeah, two truths and a lie. I have a goldfish, I am a vegetarian, and I love dogs. They almost always go up on their lie. And that's because when we're lying, we don't know if you believe us. So subconsciously, we give it away. So Jamie starts his pitch, and he doesn't have a first impression. He doesn't do any greeting in the hallway. He misses that whole walk up. The very first words out of his mouth, doesn't even matter what he says, is, right, up top. And then Mark Cuban says, are you here to pitch? And he says, here to pitch? Again, using the question inflection. I think that what happened is it gave away his competence. And then the doors open, right? And he explains this idea of ring, it's a doorbell. The problem is his first impression was very low in competence. And so he had a lot of trouble having the sharks take him seriously.
He was a very competent individual building his business, right? He was very smart, intelligent, knew the technology, how to build product, teams, all these things, get sales, whatever it was. But the warmth wasn't there as well, it seems like, right? Like the trustworthy, charisma, warmth, confidence.
He under-signaled every step of the way. So he under-signaled warmth, he under-signaled competence, and then was trying to dial up competence. And you hear in the rest of the pitch, he's
trying to build it back up. He's like, but we've done this, and look, we've got this technology.
And this money, and then this. And so he cannot get it back. He could not get it back. And so I think I watched that pitch and I break it down in the book of what happened to this brilliant guy who had one bad day. And I think that if he scripted those answers, he prepared for that pitch, and he had really good verbal answers. There was even a couple times where I think this thing happens for people who over-rehearse. So if you have an interview or a presentation, what do? You rehearse it, right? You practice the perfect answer. That can get in your way, though, because if you practice the perfect answer, this is exactly what happened to Siminoff, and very highly intelligent people do this. He would hear a question from a shark, usually a challenging question, because they were like really pushing him on the deal, and they didn't believe him. No one believed him. They all thought, oh no, it's too crowded of a market, it will never work. They literally said that to him. Okay, I have Ring on my front door. And they literally said never. He could not get them to believe him, because what would happen was they would ask him a question, he would start to answer it organically, and then he would switch into his rehearsed answer.
Oh, yeah.
So you would hear, we do have market track. Our market traction has been wonderful. In fact, in the last 5 years, we've done X numbers, and you would be like, who is this robot?
Yeah, just say what's on your heart. Yeah, just say it organically.
Right, and so I think you can be the smartest person in the world, you can have the best ideas, but if you don't share them right, you're not helping people help you. And so it drives me crazy when smart people can't get their ideas heard. And that pitch crushed me. I felt so bad for him, and he made it. He's okay now, right? He's doing really well.
And then he was like a guest shark or whatever,
Okay, and what's amazing is when you watch him walk into the tank as a shark, you can see the difference. You can feel the difference.
The confidence,
he walks into the tank, he walks down the hallway. Right? He walks down the hallway, he's smiling, he gestures, hey everyone, good to see you. He shakes hands. He does all the things he didn't do in that original pitch. And you can see the difference. And he's the same person, same ideas, similar suits, yet he looks like a different person.